Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers comprehensive auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus, benefits like 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim through the repair process to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Visit EnduranceWarranty.com for your fast free quote today. That's EnduranceWarranty.com.
This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the Guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Last time on the Damage Guild podcast.
Come out, get inside quickly. You too, miss.
She's going in! Phase 1 complete!
You count 5 men and 2 women, including those who enter the room with you. A man seated in the corner with his hood pulled low over his face so you can just see his bushy, dark blonde beard. Welcome. You're Zara?
I'm here to learn more about the cause.
What information would you have to share with us?
That all depends. Will I be allowed to stay?
If you're not going to share something that you think might help us, then I'm afraid you're going to have to leave.
I will tell you this much. I believe Lord Van Jecht has quite a vested interest in this business succeeding, and I have a direct influence on my father and his interest in the business deal.
Are you implying that you could cut the deal short at our request, if it were to come to that?
If it were to come to that, yes, I could have sway over perhaps even whether Lord Van Jecht were to, say, want to pay a visit to the town.
All right, so I'll have you make another impression check, but I'm going to impose the -2 penalty because you really are speaking to the whole group here.
All right, fair enough. +0, that is an 11. So, a little bit better.
So 13 altogether.
You have more than 1 hero point.
I do, yeah.
And they won't refresh until you spend a good amount of downtime.
You could spend another...
Well, you have 2 now, because you spent 1.
2 now, yeah.
And basically, if you spend like a week or something in downtime, then you'll get your 3 hero points back. That's how we're playing.
Okay.
You only need 1 hero point in the pool to, like, save yourself from death.
That's true.
What are the uses of the hero point?
Saving yourself from death.
Re-rolling any check.
Attack rolls, or any other check.
Okay.
Do I know whether it's a success or not?
13 is going to be a normal failure.
So I think it's worth me doing this again because I lowered their opinion of me last time. This is my opportunity to kick it back up a notch. If I don't do anything, then nothing changes.
Yeah, a success here would be great. I think similar to last time, right?
Yep.
Although, if you leave with them not hating you, then you still have the opportunity to come back and present something more to them later.
That's true.
If you leave and they absolutely hate your guts and they're like, get out of here, then your chances of getting back in are slim to none.
That's true. It would just take more time to wait for the next meeting and all that, but maybe that's a safer play. Because that'll allow me to regroup with you guys and discuss other options and everything.
So you're not going to re-roll again?
No, I think I'll keep it.
Okay. Sorin, you're familiar with the Ebenvale family. Do you think that what Zara is saying holds any merit? I'm not very close with Zara personally, but she has a cordial relationship with her father, and she could probably convince him to do some sorts of business dealings, or to stop them if necessary. I can't speak to how much influence she has with the Van Jechts. First man says, so far your promises hold only potential, but there is some potential.
Yes, as I see it, if you are going to pull this off, you're going to need all the help you can get. I'm not only one more able-bodied person with a strong mind, but I have a certain influence that perhaps exceeds that of yours.
The shorter woman now speaks up and says, you know, Darren, she has a point. We could use all the help we can get, and she has quite a bit more influence than most of us do in this town. It could be worth keeping her around And then the man who's referred to as Darren, who you now know is the one that lived in that house that you were spying on, looks rather unwilling to accept her word for it, but he turns back to the cloaked man and says, "This is not exactly my decision, sir, so what do you think?" And finally being asked a direct question, the cloaked man shifts a little bit in his seat. He doesn't yet look up, so you still don't really see his face, but he starts to speak. "You have dealt with traitors and villains, though you likely do not realize it, and so I will not fault you, as those Vanject snakes' aptitude for deceit knows no bounds."
Isn't that the truth?
Preach it, brother!
What do you know of the Vanject's history? Have they told you anything?
I know that they have been the eminent rulers, if you will, of the valley for years now. And I know that their stranglehold on the resources of our beautiful valley has only grown tighter over the years.
Most in this valley consider them rightful rulers. They see no issue with the burdens that they impose. And yet, those burdens are not the reason that I would like to see them removed.
And you are, my lord?
I'm known here as Moss. That is not my true name. Perhaps you would be more familiar with the Kalath family.
Ah.
You have heard of them.
I have when Verrol asked me to keep an eye out for someone named Kalath.
Yes, so you're aware of that much then. He says, "Your friend's grandfather had my entire family slaughtered like cattle 20 years ago. He used his wiles to gain the trust of my parents, the respect of the town, and enough money to buy the loyalty of unscrupulous men, who stormed Harrogate Hall in the dead of night at his command, killing all but myself and my nursemaid. She managed to escape with me in her arms. The so-called Lord Vanject then disguised the attack as a raid by a goblin tribe from the mountains, and as the most senior official to survive the night, assumed control of Chepfirth, garnering support from the ignorant souls whose true lord he had just murdered. And if he has his way, I'll be next, finally removing my threat to his claim as Lord of the Valley. Truly, you now see, our cause is just, and your friend and his family must be removed."
Sir, I had no idea. This is grave news indeed. I am so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine how soul-crushing that must have been.
In truth, I remember little of it myself, as I was but a child. The events of that night are well known to the Vanjects, at least to Lord Josko. You notice quite a bit of disdain when he says the Lord part there.
Yeah, much hissing and booing from the crowd when he says it. Do you have reason to believe that Verrol himself knows of this treachery?
I don't see why not. The whole band of them are lying snakes.
Yes, well, I could tell you that much myself. This is troubling indeed.
Now, you know our cause. Do you pledge to follow us? Act as our spy. Relay any information about the Vanjects that may be of use.
I pledge to be of whatever use I can to this cause. Knowing the truth about who these Vanject snakes are, as you say, I would see their ruin.
Say you get another tremor at this point. What's your response?
My response is one tremor.
Then it is official. We will accept you into our ranks. Serin here is also new, and as you two already have somewhat of a working relationship, she will be your contact and relay information on future meetings.
Very well. Will she be the one teaching me the secret handshake? Or is that somebody else's responsibility?
We have no such handshakes.
We have no need for handshakes. We do only fist bumps.
What is this handshake of which you speak?
Darren and I are aware of who all of our members are. One or the other of us will be at every meeting.
Very good. You may count me among that number.
Your presence does bring some interesting possibilities, but I'm afraid we'll have to discuss this amongst ourselves before we can bring anything in. We're not yet ready to make a move.
What phase are you in? Is this sort of the discovery phase?
Darren speaks up. We're still trying to garner support from the locals, as well as from other towns nearby. Most importantly, we need money and supplies. And perhaps your family could help in that regard too. You are wealthy merchants, are you not?
I would be happy to at least do my best to funnel some support from my father into your coffers.
I don't think your father would be as keen to join us as you claim to be. Would you be able to keep this secret from him while still embezzling funds?
Well, yes, I can certainly try. I will see to it that he increases my allowance and divert as much of that into your funds here as possible.
Very well. In the meantime, what we were originally planning to discuss this meeting is our plans for when Moss moves south. I don't know that this particularly concerns you and your part in all of this.
Any information I learn will be helpful in understanding the scope of the project here.
Darren looks back at Moss. Perhaps we should send her home for tonight and finish our discussion amongst ourselves. Maybe we'll bring her in on anything that concerns her later.
Oh, that won't be necessary. I'll be in the back corner. I'll just be a fly on the wall.
You won't even
They'll
notice
hardly
me.
notice I'm here. Yes.
Yeah, you send Mr. Crowley up to the rafters when they're not looking.
Yeah. I'll be no trouble. Look, I even baked you cookies.
Let her stay a bit longer, at least for the next few minutes. After all, there are 2 other new members here as well, and they're staying. Let us all introduce ourselves.
Very well.
The cloaked man says, I am known here as Moss Dave, and that is how you will refer to me outside of any of these meetings. I'm Darren Thurwile, carpenter. Actually, I was one of the ones that your father hired to work on the garden area.
Ah, yes, I recall.
He's an employee of the Grove. That means Kardain is technically his boss.
The old man who let you in says, I'm Cohen Bernowit, lifelong fisherman here. The other strong man who met you at the door says, I'm Arneil Stelden, woodcutter, spend most of my time outside of town. And the shorter woman says, Lorella Stocks, a baker. If you ever want to work out any business arrangements with your father...
Do you do catering?
I certainly could. And then you know Sarin Ledham.
Okay.
She says, I'm Sarin, as you know. I'm here for the first time. I met with Ada just recently. And then the next one is Braden Bradges. I'm one of the town guards. I also recently heard about this from Ada and seemed like it was a worthy cause.
They're infiltrating every level of government.
So that's everyone in the room. Over the next few minutes, they seemingly resume their discussion, but the gist of it is that Moss will be traveling to other towns in the area for the next few months. And he's going to be getting additional support that he can drum up elsewhere. Afterwards, he's planning to come back and relay whatever information. If he's got enough support at that point, he's going to put together an actual coalition effort to then drive out the Van Jecks in one way or another. But it looks like it's probably going to be a few more months of going around from town to town at least.
Okay.
He doesn't give you any details on where he's going or exactly when he's going to be back. They say that the standard meetings happen every full Karn, and it will be enough for you if you just come to those.
Understood. And what about your non-standard meetings?
Held when necessary.
Ah, I see.
That's all that they seem willing to let you and the other 2 newbies sit in on. So the 3 of you are getting kicked out. They do it one at a time, but they don't really talk about anything in between.
Okay.
Sarin goes first, and then they send you out second, and then Braden will come out 5 minutes after you.
All right. I say, good sesh, everybody, and I high-five everyone on my way out. I walk out. Again, don't need a lantern or anything, but I will walk up north, and I forget if I know where they're hiding. I don't think I do.
No, you didn't see them.
So yeah, I just walk up the road toward the bridge.
To everyone else, you're positioned behind a low wall, so you can keep an eye out and hear the footsteps going by, so you could peek over as anyone walks through. And so you spot Zara.
Kardain, there she is.
She's alone. You probably don't actually see her until she's basically even with you on the road.
I'll send a different tremor signal than we talked about, just to make her aware of that. Like, I just want to send something that might say that I see her.
You do like a double kick pattern from her favorite witch metal song. That'll get her attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do lots of rapid vibrations off and on.
Yeah, so I'll go thump, 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 thump. Yeah, I'll send 4.
Yeah, send a blast beat. 4 vibrations, okay. I stop in my tracks and kind of glance around a little bit. I look over my shoulder just to make sure no one else is coming out of the house or They're not watching me out of the windows or anything.
You don't see any signs of movement around the house. If you wanted to make a perception check to see if you can spot them.
Okay. All right. That is that's a total of 17.
That's enough to spot Kardain.
Nice. All right. Then I'll, again, glancing around to make sure no one is nearby, I'll scurry off into the woods to meet them.
Lady Zara, over here.
Zara, how'd it go?
All went well. It was a bit dicey at the beginning. They were loath to trust me at first, but I won them over with my girlish charm.
Ah, I knew you could do it. Excellent.
You stayed for the whole meeting?
I stayed for as much of the meeting as they would allow me. As a newcomer, they were still a bit distrustful of me. The tricky thing is that they made me vow to become one of them.
Oh, that's wonderful news, Zara. I never doubted you for a moment.
Wait, Zara, shouldn't we use our familiars to learn more since you're not at the end of the meeting?
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to risk brawn for that.
Yeah, I'll go grab them as quickly and subtly as I can and come back here.
Okay.
Kardain, you run off and collect Bron and run back and send him towards the house to try to burrow under.
Yeah, be really cautious, my friend. Don't let anybody see you.
So Bron crouches low and crawls up the side of the road through some of the taller grasses, and eventually he gets to the house and starts to dig underneath.
So I start telling them about what happened. Verrol, you may be interested to know about someone who was in that house. Someone who goes by Moss, but his real name is, I believe you said it was Caleth.
Indeed. This is the individual in whom I am most greatly interested.
Now, he told a bit of a story while I was in there. He was spreading probably some lies, I'm sure. Something about how your grandfather usurped him and his family from your family home, what is now your family home, and slaughtered his whole family. Is that true?
Come again?
Yes, that's what he said. He spoke it plain as day.
He said that my grandfather slaughtered his family?
Yes, that he was the only one of his line who escaped. He was a child at the time, and his nurse carried him out.
Well, it's no surprise that a man who skulks about in secret, holding meetings in the dead of night, would be the sort to treat in such lies and falsehoods, of course. My grandfather is a duly appointed Lord of Chepforth. It's as simple as that.
He came by the title rightfully, then?
He was appointed by the council who makes such decisions. And the reason, further, that he was appointed as such is because the previous lord had let the valley fall into disarray. Why, Harrogate Hall itself had fallen into ruin. My grandfather restored it to its former glory. And he's done the same with the valley.
So he's had no evil part in taking Harrogate?
No, of course not.
Now, Game Master, could I make an insight check on Verrol?
Sure, I will roll a secret check.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about this possible outcome of, like, if Zara did learn the motivations of the revolution, like, what if there is some sort of terrible dark past?
It's funny, I hadn't considered that.
I thought about it, like, right before you did the encounter, but I didn't think of a way to, like, counteract it, right? Like, it could break up the band.
So you don't get the sense that he's lying? It doesn't seem like he's hiding anything particular.
All right, then I have no reason to distrust him. Yes, I believe what you say. I must say, he did speak with some certainty, some conviction.
Well, a man like that, preying upon the sympathies of the simple-minded, would speak in such terms.
Perhaps that's how he's gathering as much support as he is.
Indeed, it must prove to be.
So I proceed to tell the others about the rest of the details of the meeting. One interesting thing that Moss mentioned is that he's going to be traveling around to other nearby towns to presumably continue to pick up recruits. He said this could take up to several months. I believe that buys us quite a bit of time on this plot hook.
It would seem so.
I don't know, Zara. It might be good if we make a move before he's got all the support.
Well, I presume he did not indicate which towns he would be in and when.
No, he did not. Of note, the next meeting will be the next full Karn, in about 8 weeks.
And it seems perhaps we have some time, unless there was anything actionable, you learned.
Verrol, you know I'm not that smart, but, sometimes I have a thought.
At least according to your stat block, you aren't.
Yes. But sometimes I have a grain of wisdom to offer. From what I'm taking from what Zara heard, you think he's building this whole revolution on a lie. Is that right?
Indeed I do.
Well, what easier way to dismantle this than to prove his lie wrong?
How could we possibly do that?
I don't know. I mean, you sounded so confident that it's a lie, that your Lord Grandfather took to power through legitimate means. We believe you. I believe you. Zara, you believe him, right?
I believe him, yes.
Yeah, so we just gotta produce surely there's evidence that supports that, right? I mean, that's why you believe it, Verrol.
Well, a wise man once said, with great power comes lots of people who want to take it from you. And this individual is nothing more than a bitter, vengeful,
would-be usurper
who wishes to take back what is no longer rightfully his, which his family let go due to their ineptitude.
Well, we could talk to your Lord Grandfather. Surely there's something in the royal records, right?
I highly doubt that.
It can't just be hearsay.
Even if something like this were to happen, the chances of there being record of it are slim to none.
Well, but I was just merely asking. I mean, Verrol, you weren't there, right? Like, you're taking those historical events on faith?
I believe my grandfather could proclaim how preposterous and delusional this notion is until he was blue in the face, and I doubt this individual would ever believe him. He was a mere babe, as he claims, at the time, and so his recollection is spotty at best.
Right, yeah. See, that's the thing. How does he know that's what happened if he was a mere child?
He's taking it on the word of his family or someone else, I suppose.
I tell you what, Master Kardain, it's enough to make one's blood simply boil. Before we go any further, might we get out of this rain? I dare say my knickers are soggier than the Anves itself. Perhaps we should take shelter.
Oh, sure. I gotta grab Braun.
You were going to leave him there for the rest of the meeting.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna leave him there. Okay, I'll come back for you in the morning, buddy. I say under my breath.
Perhaps the two of you could come to my apartments at the Anves Arms. Erath is waiting for us there, and we have a timetable to be back in before he alerts the entire town.
Yes, let's go to the Anves Arms.
Right then.
You make your way back through town. Actually, at this point, it's probably been long enough that the third person that was leaving early has also left. So you kind of hunker down and wait for them to pass by, and then wait till they're out of sight, and then you head into town yourself. Make it back to the Anves Arms without any incident, though.
All right.
Erath greets you at the door. Welcome back, sir. I trust things went well?
They did. Better than expected, I dare say. Might you hang these clothes up to dry? I shall be only a moment, and I go into the other room and have a change of clothes, and then I throw the wet ones into Erath's arms.
Very good, sir. I'll have these dry by morning.
A bit before morning, if possible. I should like them dry well before I wake up, if you please.
At least 2 or 3 hours before that.
Indeed.
He just nods and heads over towards a small fireplace.
Just in case you need to dress me in my sleep.
I prefer them not to be wet when I admire how good I look in them from afar.
All right, so we'll catch him up as well. Erath and Stoke are both there?
Yes, both.
Yeah, so we'll catch them both up. If Verrol cannot think of any evidence we could use to prove his family's true ownership of the keep, then I don't know that we have much choice.
I think investigating this is worth it because, one, Verrol would know for sure versus just basing it on his Lord Grandfather's word, right? And then furthermore, if we did provide evidence that his claim is false, the revolution falls apart. It would be an arrest instead of a potential bloodbath if they're really growing as big as you said, Zara.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. Propaganda. We could simply draft up a letter, have several copies of it made, and have it distributed to all the towns in the valley.
Yeah, if it's a fake claim, you might be able to make fake letters, sure. But it might be good to get to the bottom of this.
In order for the truth to prevail, we must lie. That is the only way.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, you guys. I'm saying we get the evidence and disprove his claim. I don't know how we get the evidence.
Yes, but without evidence, how can we provide evidence?
Well, so if it's murdering he's claiming, those bones are somewhere.
Well, nevertheless, we do have some time to work with, so what say we head back to the mountain, dig our ditch, and come up with a plan on the way?
Yes, I always do my best thinking while digging. Perhaps that will spark some new ideas.
No wonder you'd never come up with good ideas.
That must be it. I've been racking my brain trying to come up with what we could possibly use as substantial evidence given the cagey nature of this individual and his cohorts.
Some kind of record, some kind of ledger.
Did you notice anyone writing anything during the meeting?
No, I don't believe I did.
So it's all in their heads. If we are fortunate, perhaps Bronn will overhear something of use.
Yes.
But I believe you are right. In the meantime, it is best that we continue with our other tasks.
Yes. Let's rest for the night and let the DM tell us if we are attacked in the middle of the night.
When you're all separated from each other?
Yep.
Do be careful going home. Kardain, when is it that you plan to retrieve Bronn from his hiding place?
I imagine I should wait. We can't let them know we bugged the building.
Another hour or two?
Will you do it tonight, or will you wait till morning?
Maybe I don't even go get him tomorrow, if that would look suspicious. I could call for Bronn with the tremor sense instead of, physically tapping the building and telling him to come out. I could be a little more subtle, I suppose.
The reason I inquire is because my intention is to send Stoke with you when you go, so that the two of you might be better prepared in case anything goes wrong.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea, Verrol. Yeah, I'm not sure what time is best to pick up Bronn. I mean, he'll be fine. Maybe we let him hang out for a day or two. I mean, unless we're leaving, right now.
Well, what time of night is it now? We could set off in the morning, I suppose.
Yeah, it's probably getting close to 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Maybe we set off more around midday.
Yeah, let's get our beauty sleep. We can pick up Bronn in the morning, and then we'll head off, closer to midday.
Despite my high charisma score, beauty sleep is nonetheless imperative. Well, in that case, Kardain, why don't you bunk up with Stoke and Erath tonight in their room? I'm sure they wouldn't mind having you, would you, lads?
Stoke, pass him on the back. Not at all.
Matter of fact, you could have Erath's bed. He wouldn't mind sleeping on the floor.
Oh, really? I don't know if I could do that, Verrol. I've got a bedroll and it's pretty comfy.
Ah, well, Erath wouldn't mind taking that. Would you?
Not at all, sir.
Of course.
That's a good lad.
That way you and Stoke could be together when you decide it's time to go retrieve Bronn. I'd prefer to stay out of the rain, of course. I have already purchased several new pairs of boots since we've been in town, and I'd rather not have to do it again. I'm just breaking these ones in.
I mean, if you guys will have me, we could swap stories. It'd be a fun time together.
I think it's best to just go to sleep. We've got a lot coming tomorrow.
It's been a while since I've gotten to spend time with anybody besides Bronn or the Grove Tenders.
Well, I'm sure the fellows would be up for a little slumber party.
Yes. It cheers me up a lot, Verrol. I don't know if I told you guys this much, but I miss my family sometimes.
Your family? You never speak of your family, at least not that I've heard.
I know. I've always been taught it's, polite not to put the shine on yourself.
Not to refer to the people about whom you care most in the world?
No, I mean, it's not like that, Verrol. It's just, I've been taught it's polite you get to know the other people first. I've been trying to do that.
What about sharing the things that are important to you? You have no qualms about expounding on your love of herbs, or your love of nature, or your love of rocks, or your love of Bronn?
Well, but that's different, that's...
Well, how are rocks any different from family? I fail to see the difference.
Especially for you.
Well, you see, I haven't seen them in years, actually. I don't actually know how they're doing.
Ah, they're ashamed of you. I understand.
No, Verrol, it's not like that. It's, why don't you come over to where we're going to be bedding down and we could talk about it?
Oh, that's okay. I couldn't intrude upon...
your quality time.
Yes, I couldn't intrude upon such a flamboyant occasion.
No, I mean, I insist. It might be helpful for me to talk about it.
Ah, I see.
Why don't you tell us on the road tomorrow? You'll have plenty of time to expound.
That sounds lovely. We'll pass the time with some family stories from Kardain.
I mean, I suppose I could tell you about it now, if there's time.
There is not. It is 1 in the morning.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, Verrol. I'll remember my place in the hierarchy of this society.
Oh, it has nothing to do with that. It's merely the fact that perhaps you might give Stoke and Erath a trial run of the story so that it's nice and polished tomorrow for when you deliver it to a larger crowd.
Yes, well, let's get some sleep, shall we?
Lady Zara, would you prefer an escort home?
Oh, no, I think I'll be quite all right.
If you insist.
I have all my spell slots still remaining, after all.
Ah, then you should be in good shape.
Yes. All right. Good morrow, gentlemen.
Sleep well. Travel safe home. We shall see you on the morrow, and perhaps we should plan to leave around noontide.
Where are we leaving for?
The mountains. Under the mountains, I should say.
Oh, you want to leave for the mountains? Okay, I am going to change what spells I'm preparing.
Yes, good call. Me too.
Well, I see no reason to delay our departure, unless you do.
No, I think it'd be good for us to bring the new tools we've got and try to divert the slime.
Well, if it's simply a matter of spell slots, perhaps Erath could guide you in your choices.
Oh yeah? Is he a spellcaster? Is he wise about such things?
No, he simply might provide some insight or wisdom. I don't know, I'm really just trying to get everyone out of my room at this point so I can go to sleep.
Erath says, yes, I believe that would be best for all of us. It is quite late.
Indeed.
So, you split up your separate ways, you bed down for the night. When morning comes, I guess sometime late in the morning probably, Stoke and Kardain go back around and over the bridge and pick up Braun.
Yeah, I mean, if we think it's not going to give us away.
Well, I mean, there are people just going about their daily business. You could just walk along the shoreline.
Yeah, I'll keep the tremor signs cantrip prepared so I could call Braun from a distance.
So when you get him back, unfortunately, it turns out that he wasn't able to hear anything. There is a small cellar underneath that provided too much of a gap there between where the sound was.
Bummer.
Mighty convenient. That's the place that they chose, isn't it?
Well, the other building was more like a shack, whereas this one is like an actual, like, if you build a house by the water, you want it raised with something beneath, not just like sitting in the mud. So it makes sense it would be that way, this close to the river anyway.
The rain is still persisting throughout the day. Not as bad as it was last night, but just kind of drizzling now and then, casting a gray cloud over all of your proceedings.
Well, we get everybody up. Are you guys still choosing your spells for the day?
Yeah, I think I'm good now.
I'm good. I've got my spells figured out.
Okay, cool. Then we rouse everybody, fetch Lady Zara, I suppose, after lunch, or perhaps we could show up slightly before lunch so that we could be invited in for a meal.
And mooch some food, as it were.
Indeed. We show up at 11:30, with just enough time for them to fit us in, for the kitchen staff to prepare some extra food. The Anves Arms serves mostly pub food, I imagine. So it's a little bit below
fish and chips, that kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit below Verrol's standards. So eating at Zara's kind of feels like a taste of home in a way.
I assume that they would not object to serving you?
I think it would be rude not to invite us in. In fact, I'm preying upon their politeness.
Hospitality.
Yes.
So yeah, everyone gathers together. You all have lunch at Ebenvale Estate. Stoke says, so we've got everything that we need, right? No other tools? Anything we need to pick up?
Do you have something in mind?
No, I just think it's prudent to review and make sure that we've got it all.
What do we have? Pickaxes, shovels. Do we need buckets or maybe a jackhammer or a magical hammer that can hammer stone really good? I don't know. Master Kardain, you're a dwarf. What does it take to move stone out of the way?
Yeah, I mean, I probably want some sort of a caster or grove tender who knows how to speak to the stones. I mean, I haven't really gotten that far in my relationship with them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like stones. We're just not. We're not that deep.
I see.
Yeah.
So you're just friends then?
Well, I mean, I can't move stones with my mind yet. I mean, I guess I can drop. What was it? I had that one spell where I dropped some pebbles on people, but I don't know how to talk to them.
Well, then perhaps we'll have to resort to some old-fashioned digging.
Yeah, I only see a pickaxe in our group equipment in our stash here. Did we get other things? We got shovels and...
Yeah, we got like 2 shovels and 2 pickaxes, I want to say.
Stoke has a pickaxe.
Okay.
And anything that's in your party stash is not something that you're bringing with you. That's all left behind.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
I have a shovel. Stoke has a pickaxe. So why don't you guys each grab another tool out of the stash?
I do have a light pick, but we said that's not for...
Yeah, that's a weapon.
All right, then I'll take a pickaxe, since we have one.
Okay, so Stoke has one, Zara has one, and then I have a shovel. Is that enough? Kardain, do you need a tool? Do we need to purchase another shovel?
Since we didn't get the Mason's Guild to come with us, right, the more tools that the party has, the faster, I guess, it'll get done, right? Like, if we have 4 tools...
Right.
So maybe we should do 2 shovels, 2 picks. I don't know. What are the shovels even going to do? This is like stone, right?
Yeah, shovels just to like carry it or move it elsewhere.
Yeah, it might be good to have 1 shoveler and then 3 pickers, right? 1 person to kind of move the rubble.
Now, to be fair, it might also be prudent to keep 1 person on watch too, right?
Oh yeah, that's fair.
True.
So maybe we just have the 3 tools and we rotate through.
Mm-hmm. That works.
Okay, cool.
Stoke says, you did mention a bucket that could be useful, especially if we were planning on carrying some of this water back for the grove.
Oh, is a bucket, though, going to be easy to carry for long distances?
Can't imagine it would.
I'm just, like, imagining Zelda Ocarina of Time, which, like, you had jars for transporting everything, you know?
Oh, we could carry it on a pole with a hook or something, carry it over our shoulders.
I don't see a bucket even in the equipment list available for purchase.
Yeah, I don't either, but you don't have to buy one. You'll have some on hand at Zara's place.
All right, cool. We'll just borrow some of your dad's and then return them muddy with dents in them.
Yep, perfect.
He won't mind.
Nope.
Well then, shall we be off?
Yes, let's.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else we need, Verrol.
Well, I'm sure we will when we're a few miles outside of town.
What is the exploration activity that, like, a high-whiz character like me can... It's searching, right? I remember at one point I was able to see a trap before we walked into it. What is that exploration activity?
I think that would be searching.
Yeah, search says you seek meticulously for hidden doors, concealed hazards, and so on.
Oh, that makes us move at half speed, though. Are we okay moving slower?
It takes a day and a half to get there, so you're probably not doing that over the whole wilderness.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I didn't realize this thing. Scout also makes you move at half speed.
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting.
Yes. You scout ahead behind the group to watch for danger moving at half speed.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, so I think these are mostly for when you think you are in danger.
Like in dungeons.
Oh.
Yeah, in dungeons, that kind of thing.
I see. Okay, so you can't just, like...
Travel for 3 days. Maybe
right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, if there's nothing I can do, let's just walk right into a trap.
Perfect.
I will defend in that case. I'll walk with my dueling cape wrapped.
I think defend also makes you move at half speed.
Oh, yeah, you move half your travel speed, yep. Well, so no exploration activities until we get into the dungeon.
Right, so the first day passes uneventfully.
Is it still raining?
Yeah, it rains off and on throughout the day. The next morning, the cold fog and sputtering rain make the second day of the journey especially unpleasant. All the more so considering that this is when you find yourselves traveling through the most warped part of the forest. So you're following the stream as usual, and just as Stoke finishes helping Verrol over a fallen tree trunk, some movement from the shoreline ahead catches your eye.
Look, movement on the shoreline ahead.
Oh no, is another one of those slugs?
What you thought at first was another fallen tree or a large piece of driftwood rises slowly out of the river, revealing a vaguely humanoid creature of wood, or what passes for wood in this part of the valley. Its branches creak and water sloshes as it starts to move menacingly towards you.
Oh.
Then you hear a snapping sound from across the water behind you as a second one moves out of the fog into view.
Oh no.
Hang on, guys, I got this, and I'll try to talk to him with my plant stuff.
Well,
can't I, like, understand?
Roll for initiative first.
Oh, okay. Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Oh, well, if it's going to cost me actions, Thane, no, I don't want to talk to the scary wood monsters.
Talking's a free action.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So they just look like warped tree people, like blighted trees?
Basically. So they're large tree-like humanoids with extra little branches and vines and things growing off of them.
Whoa, yeah, they're creepy looking.
Ooh.
They're each 10 to 15 feet tall, somewhere in that range.
Whoa.
Super creeps.
They're tall dudes.
Yeah.
They have, like, grotesque, warped faces.
I did say that they're what passes for wood in this part of the forest.
Yeah.
So we're all rolling perception for initiative now, right?
And we didn't have a scout going, right?
Yeah, no scout.
Oh, yeah, those guys are pretty gnarly.
Pretty freaky. This is what Treebeard looks like when you get rid of the beard.
Yep. And when you give him psoriasis.
Or the mange.
All right, Kardain is going on a 20.
Verrol will be going on a 15.
Zara received 16.
Stoke goes first. He's in the front of the group since he just let Verrol over, the fallen log, and he's the closest to the first tree creature. Seeing the danger, he draws his axe, tries to place himself between the monster and Verrol, and takes a swing with his axe. He hits and breaks off a decent-sized chunk of wood.
Haha.
The creature doesn't really seem to respond a whole lot to the damage. At least it's not like it's screaming in pain or anything. It's just, it took it, and it's continuing to lumber forward.
You'd think tree monsters would be scared of axes.
Yeah.
It does seem effective.
Our arch nemesis.
And that's it for his turn. So, Kardain.
Okay, well, if talking is a free action, I am going to talk. Hey, Verrol, maybe you should come over to me and Zara. We might have some magic for you.
Do you think, rather than advancing and engaging the foe?
Yeah, I think you should let us give you some stuff.
So the fallen tree between you is difficult terrain.
Ah, I see.
Oh, is it? Shoot. Okay.
Yes. Unlikely that I shall do that. My apologies.
Okay, I am considering options here. I'm trying out some new cantrips, as you know how I like to. I'm going to move down the riverbed a little bit.
Move downstream.
Yeah, moving downstream towards the other guy. This actually, moving is doubly important here because I wouldn't be in range for my elemental blast to either of these guys either if I didn't move.
So you move downstream till you're within range of the one across the stream.
And I'm going to cast something called Bramblebush. And I summon a sudden burst of growth. A spiky bush.
Okay. Blends right into the surroundings. So it gets saving throw and succeeds.
Well, but it's a basic save, so doesn't it still take some damage?
Should take half, yeah.
Yeah, it's half damage if you roll it.
3 damage, but it rounds down, doesn't it?
Yeah. So unfortunately, it looks like the thorns on the branch of the bush don't really affect the tree in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't hurt it.
Just like little spines sticking in, but like sticking a nail into a tree isn't really doing a whole lot to it.
Okay. Maybe because it's piercing damage.
Yeah, it's possible it's still affected by the difficult terrain. I mean, if I had Scatter Scree, that would be better here, but I don't have it. All right, that's my turn.
Next is the tree creature in front of Stoke. So its legs kind of reach out in root-like growth and try to ripple around and whip past Stoke's legs and hit.
No, Stoke.
For a lot.
Oh, no.
And Stoke just barely manages to keep his footing as the roots writhe around underneath him.
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
And then it swings at him with one of its branches as well, but misses.
Phew.
Then the one across the stream picks up a chunk of wood, a log or something, and throws it at Kardain.
Oh, no, they throw things. They have improvised ranged attacks.
That's a miss.
Whew.
And then it's going to start crossing the stream.
This is where I see if the difficult terrain mattered at all, Brian.
I mean, it slowed it down some, but
I imagine the river is difficult terrain, too?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be for us, but I don't know about for them.
It might matter how tall he is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
If these things are, like, super massive.
yeah, the river doesn't seem to be slowing it down a whole lot. It makes it most of the way across the stream, but it ends its turn standing about 10 feet away from Kardain.
That might have actually mattered. Didn't quite make it to you.
Yeah, true.
Zara?
I'll call out, Verrol, would your rapier happen to deal piercing damage?
It would indeed. Why do you ask?
Would it happen to also do slashing damage at your option?
No.
It merely deals piercing.
It merely pokes. Very well.
Yeah, it's a deadly D8 disarm finesse sword. It does not have the option to deal anything other than piercing.
I see. Well, you may find your weapon to be rather ineffective this combat. I suggest you switch to your other weapon. You do have a backup weapon, don't you?
Ruh-roh, Raggy. Not a good one for this application. What leads you to that conclusion?
Well, I saw Kardain cast a spell that dealt poking damage, and it didn't seem to do anything.
It was also effectively a roll of 1 point of damage.
Yeah, and it was a plant too, so it could be that it was like too naturey to hurt it.
Okay.
Do we think it's still worth it for me to buff Verrol's weapon?
What happens if Brian was to buff Verrol with runic weapon? Does it actually do anything? Because I think Jay's weapon already upgraded to the equivalent of runic weapon. And if so, could Brian get a different spell? Because he might not have known that.
Yeah.
Runic weapon makes it +1 striking.
+1 striking.
So that increases the damage die.
It does. Okay.
Right now you just have regular +1, so it would add 1d6 damage.
Okay, that's significant. So it's the striking that's what's most important from runic weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. So it does do something.
All right. Well, tell you what. I think I'm going to start with an automatic knowledge. Make a recall knowledge check. It's a free action, so I'm going to see if there's anything I might know with occultism, just on the off chance that they're constructs or something like that. So we'll ask what their weaknesses and resistances are.
Brian, it's going to be so good when you get some info out of these automatic. I mean, it's a no-action recall knowledge.
Yeah.
It has to use your assurance, right?
Yes. 10 plus proficiency, which is...
I think it was it a 16 last time?
16, yeah, because I'm expert.
I'm pretty sure one of these tree monsters used to moonlight as a witch's teepee.
So you don't get anything off the top of your head.
All right. In that case, I think I will cross over the fallen tree branch to Verrol. It is difficult terrain, but I will still go. Should be plenty to get me next to him still. And I will cast Runic Weapon on his rapier.
Okay.
All right, so it's a move, and then Runic Weapon's 2 actions, so I'm done.
And Jay, I don't want you to feel like you have to, but I could also put my buff on you if you were to get... Kardain's so slow. I understand, though, strategically you might want to go after the same treant as Stoke, though, so you got to weigh those odds.
Right. It's going to keep me out of combat for a lot longer if we weren't so far apart with a big tree in between us.
Yeah, I mean, but to Brian's point earlier, these guys might be really resistant to piercing.
Right, that's fair.
But we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, my backup weapon is the necklace of stone daggers, which are also piercing. So using my backup weapon doesn't really help in this case. But I do think because I can get to the other enemy in a single move action, I'm just going to do that and take my chances and see where this goes. So I'll take the one move to get up beside Stoke, fighting the other tree guy.
As you close with it, it is going to attack you.
Oh, no. Lovely. I shall use Flashy Dodge.
These guys are nasty.
So that's a +2 to your AC?
Correct.
All right, you just barely dodge out of the way as it swings its branch.
Nice, I gain panache until the end of my next turn.
Sweet.
Of note, it attacked you when you moved from 10 feet away to 5 feet. So it has reach with its branch.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
And you were moving through its space.
So long reach.
These things are ferocious.
For my second action, I will attack. I was going to try tumbling through, but I think it's better to just attack here.
Well, you've already got the panache anyway.
Right, exactly. An 18 to hit.
18 misses.
Oh, no.
They got a pretty high armor class.
Yeah, well, then I guess I'll finish. Wow, that's a 24 to hit. Natural 20.
Smokes. Natty Twinzo.
Critical hit with a natural 20.
Oh,
this is a biggin'. 29 damage.
Oh my god. Wow, 4d6 and a d8.
Wham.
but getting the extra dice off of the runic weapon's relevant here. It's double, isn't it also double deadly as well?
Yes.
Double deadly, double runic from the striking.
Right. Plus the normal d8 times 2. Wow. So I guess we're going to find out if piercing weapons do anything to these guys.
It's d6 base, d6 striking, 2d6 precise strike. All of that's doubled.
Right.
From the critical
plus
hit,
the
and
D8.
then plus the d8.
Oh, man.
So, okay.
Sick.
Yeah, 29 points of damage, and you strike deeply into the core of the tree.
Into the heartwood.
However, as you do so, that also causes this putrid sap to come spewing out at you and Stoke.
Oh, great. It's an alien. It's got acid blood.
Need both of you to make a fortitude save.
Okay. That's only a 10 for Verrol.
That is a critical failure.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, hero point. Wow, I just remembered.
Yeah.
Too late to use a hero point, right, Thane?
No, I haven't said what it does.
What the effect
If
is?
you want to use it, you can.
Yeah, I think avoiding a... well, is it really? I mean, this thing's almost dead. I feel like Stoke's going to take it out on his next turn, which is next.
But a critical fail on whatever the sap is could be really nasty.
That's fair.
You don't know what it does.
Yeah, just think about all the options you have.
Yeah, I have a 75% chance of rolling something better, so I think I'll burn the hero point and roll again. All right, it's a 21 this time.
Okay.
A little better.
Slightly better.
So that is a success.
Yes. Whew.
And you both succeeded then, which means while it's gross, it doesn't have any further effects on you.
Oh, okay.
Aha.
You did bring a change of clothes for me, didn't you, Stoke?
Do know me, sir. I always bring an extra pair. Just like I did on our first quest.
Can always count on you, Stoke.
Not a full outfit, sir, just the necessities.
Ah, well
Just
then.
the boots.
I believe your clothes will fit me just fine.
I'm going to need some fresh ones too, sir. But first, let's deal with what's in front of us. So Stoke's going to attack first, and he misses. Then he will attack again and hit. And with his second swing, he cleaves through the trunk of the tree creature. And it falls splintered into the stream. It starts flowing away.
Exactly what axes are for.
We'll make driftwood out of you.
Stoke!
Seeing that threat is dealt with, Stoke turns around and looks over at the other creature approaching Kardain. On my way, Master Dwarf.
There's plenty for you, Stoke. Come on over.
He just runs and takes a flying leap and does the splits over Zara's head. Jumps over the tree.
I thought you were going to have him do a swan dive in your headcanon into, like, the creek.
Yeah, into the river and floats down.
He makes it up next to Zara, and he's standing on top of the tree trunk.
Does he make a manly pose?
Yeah, plants his hands on his hips and looks off to the side.
Puts one leg up on the tree log.
Kardain?
All right. As you guys saw with my last turn, the piercing bramble was only useful for the difficult terrain. So I'm going to try a different cantrip called, well, let's just cast it. And a cool wind starts to blow from Kardain's hands, and then it starts to become much more frigid, and it literally turns into an orb of biting cold.
Ooh.
And it will hopefully smack this guy.
Oh my.
It does succeed on its saving throw.
Shucks.
It's a basic fortitude save, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it takes half.
Yeah, and what's cool about this is if it gets the crit failure, it has some synergy with my elemental blast. It would make it weak to bludgeoning. And I just felt like Kardain's, a lot of the cantrips I've tried out so far have a really short range, and Frostbite has a nice 60-foot range.
Alright, well, it does seem to have an effect. You can see the frost rippling up and sprouting little bits of ice on its branches.
Back to winter for you.
But it seems tough enough to handle it. Last action?
I'm gonna shoot a tree nut. Yeah.
Does Frostbite have manipulate? It does.
Oh no.
So he can actually attack you.
Oh boy.
Crap.
Oh yeah, you said earlier he has reach, didn't you?
But it misses.
Oh, whew. Yeah, Kardain's a bit... maybe I didn't see what was happening over there with Verrol and Stoke, and I'm a little surprised when it, like, takes a swing at me. You okay, Bron? I make sure Bron is safe and secure in his cage.
So it swings its branch just past your head, and then you sprinkle your ice on it as it goes by.
Yeah, like Salt Bay. I do the Salt Bay sprinkle. Somebody's going to get that reference. Don't worry about
Salt
it, Thane.
Bay?
All right, so I'm going to...
Salt Bay or Old Bay?
I was going to say Old Bay.
No, Salt Bay. The Turkish chef who's famous for the sprinkling some salt meme.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
You guys know
that
Salt
one.
Bay.
I don't know that one now.
Nope.
I recognize that one.
Thane got it. Usually, Thane doesn't get our references, but Thane is backing me up this time, and the Stout Brothers know nothing.
But I understood that reference.
Yes, you did. You're backing me up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attack this guy. Does a 22 hit?
It does.
Noise.
Oh, all right. Get some damage in there. 11 points. That's not bad.
Dude, 11. That's sick.
The tree nuts fly out and pelt the creature. Unfortunately, they also don't seem particularly effective, but it does do some damage. You're chipping off hunks of bark and such.
So, is it because it's plant matter, or is it because it's bludgeoning? I don't know.
Yeah. That was max, wasn't it? That 11 on that one?
It is max.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was max.
I mean, it's still doing damage. It's just not as much as you were hoping for.
Interesting.
It's probably got some sort of resistance.
When I got the crit with the rapier, did it look like the tree was resistant to it?
Yeah, so you did get through its defenses with that much damage, but yes, it was...
Didn't look quite as effective as normal.
I mean, because you're piercing just one section of it, it's not doing that much damage to the whole tree.
Right.
This is mostly because I'm a druid, right? Like, I understand that some of these attacks we're trying would be weak. I just didn't want to waste my action. I was fairly confident it might be weak.
I mean, it's damage is damage, right? Getting it done.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, and now it's the creature's turn. It walks upstream and...
It moves past Kardain.
Hey, you don't even... It's just ignoring Kardain. It just walks by me.
The creature goes between Kardain, Stoke, and Zara, so they're all kind of around it.
Oh no, it's going to do the berserker.
Or it's going to do the gross stuff.
Yeah, at first it walks past you and you're like, come back here, you can't walk past me.
Nobody walks past me.
And then it reaches out its branches with sickly flowering growths on them and starts shaking, spreading out this disgusting yellow-green pollen stuff everywhere. On all three of you.
Yikes.
You begin to sneeze uncontrollably.
And Mr. Crowley, actually, since he's exposed.
Does that also get on Braun?
If Braun's in his cage, he's fine.
Be sneezing for hours.
Everyone make a fortitude save.
Verrol as well. Am I in range?
You're not in range.
I get a 19 total.
Ooh, Zara got a 20. Ooh, Mr. Crowley also got a 20. Amazing.
Okay, so Zara and Mr. Crowley succeed. Stoke and Kardain fail.
Oh,
a 19
by 1
fail?
point.
Oh, boy.
Brutal.
Dang it.
Rough. This is a high check.
Yeah, that's very high.
For our level 2 lives? Yeah, that's really high.
You inhale this dust and it starts making you choke and gag, but more importantly, you can feel the acidity of it eating away at you.
Ooh.
So you each take 9 damage, save for half. So 9 to Stoke and Kardain and 4 to Mr. Crowley and Zara.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it has 1 action left with which it will attempt to swing its branch at Kardain, but misses. Zara.
I will, first of all, free action independent Mr. Crowley, have him fly over to the tree person, the tree gentleman.
Lady Zara, how dare you ascribe station to that vile creature?
He seems like a fine, upstanding young man.
In fact, that's all he's ever done his whole life is standing.
That is so true, Kardain. Then I will cast Shroud of Night on him. It's very fortunate that he moved up to within 30 feet of me, because this allowed me to... It totally changed my turn. So he makes a will save.
And fails.
All right. All creatures are concealed to it, and Mr. Crowley also gives him Frightened 1. And then I will... Let's see what happens to a tree when it gets struck by lightning. And I'll cast Electric Arc and make a reflex save.
Yeah, I think that's wise, because if your other cantrip today is Needle Darts, it's like we already know that's kind of weak sauce.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I think lightning and trees are a good mix if damage is your aim.
Oh, so it makes a reflex save. And then... Oh, brutal. 2 1s on 2d4.
Oh, Snake Eye.
on.
Well, Snake Eye's on D4s, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's more likely than on D6s.
Okay, well, it does deal damage, and you fry it, so now it's got singed on one branch and frost on the other.
Good. That's a good start.
Slowly accumulating damage.
Well, that is all I can do.
Verrol.
Stoke, kindly assist me in fashioning this dead tree creature into a makeshift raft of sorts so that we might sail down the river to engage the other one. No, I'll just run toward the fallen tree where Zara and Stoke are, and then I think if I take another move, I'll be able to get into melee with it.
Okay, it gets to attack you.
Indeed, I will use Flashy Dodge.
Okay. Misses.
Oh, nice. So now, since it's my turn currently, it says if the strike misses, you gain panache until the end of your next turn. Now, granted, I'm going to finish here, but just for future reference, does that mean if it's my next turn, then it would be to the end of my next? Okay, awesome.
Wow.
Cool. Well, I am going to finish here. And that is a 28 to hit. Another crit, baby. Woo!
And this was only a critical hit thanks to it being frightened.
Ah, nice. Party synergy, baby.
And wasn't there a +1 from the runic, or that just gives an extra dice in this case?
No, that's built into his attacks now.
Yeah, but the fear getting that extra.
Yes. Here we go.
Amazing. Wombo combo.
Isn't this where the rules lawyer holds up his every +1 matters sign?
Yeah, right. 2d6 plus 2d6 plus 1d8. 29 damage again.
Whoa!
Unbelievable.
The other day, my daughter, my 4-year-old, made up a joke while we were driving because there's like trees on both sides of the road. She's like, "Daddy, why did the tree cross the road?" I was like, "Why?" And she goes, "Because it fell over." I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." That's actually pretty funny.
That's actually pretty good. It's a tall enough tree, yeah.
So you puncture it straight to the heartwood. This one, fortunately for you, does not seem to spew its strange stuff at you.
Oh, that's always good.
How kind of it.
Stoke can't get into flanking, so he lets himself down from the tree and moves up to stand next to Verrol. And then he swings his axe, and he also gets a critical hit.
Wow.
And this is with his axe, which seems extra effective, and he once again chops the tree down.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Amazing.
Stokey-okey.
Chopping trees.
Yeah. Stoke.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.